Welcome back to A Midnight's Tale. Tonight's story will beckon your imagination. According to the dualism perspective, the mind, or perhaps the very essence of the soul, exists as a non-physical substance, while the body is compromised of ordinary matter. But what if that enigmatic substance could be harnessed to be made real and wielded for nefarious purposes? Let's find out. Enjoy, and have a terrifying good night.
My name is Dr. Henry Jekyll, and I must confess the darkest secret that has plagued my conscience for far too long. What began as an experiment to understand the duality of human nature has spiraled into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. In the heart of Victorian London, I, along with my sinister alter ego, Mr. Edward Hyde, have unleashed a malevolent toxin upon the unsuspecting elite of this city, binding them to our will. It all started with a simple potion, a concoction that promised to separate the good from the evil within a person. The potion, a mixture of chemicals and alchemical knowledge, was initially meant to be a scientific breakthrough, an exploration of the hidden depths of human nature. Little did I know the depths to which I would descend. At first, it was Mr. Hyde who emerged only during the darkest hours of the night under the cloak of London's shadows. He was the embodiment of my inner demons, the beast lurking within my soul. Together, we reveled in the freedom of unleashing our most sinister desires. But as time passed, we realized the true potential of our concoction. Our malevolent plan took shape when we decided to unleash our toxin upon London's most influential and wealthy. We clandestinely infiltrated their exclusive gatherings, their opulent soirees, and their private clubs. The unsuspecting elite, who believed themselves to be untouchable, became our unwitting victims. We chose bourbon as our vector. Its amber depths provided the perfect camouflage for our insidious creation. Each drop contained a trace of our duality toxin, a substance that would slowly erode the moral fibers of those who indulged in it. It was a subtle but effective transformation, one that unfolded over months, gradually turning the city's high society into our loyal minions. As they sipped their tainted bourbon, their personalities began to shift. Kindness gave way to cruelty, generosity to greed, and compassion to callousness. These changes were so subtle that no one suspected the true cause. Friends turned against friends, families crumbled, and the very fabric of society unraveled. Our reign of terror remained concealed in the shadows, hidden beneath the respectable facade of Dr. Jekyll. Hyde reveled in the chaos he had sown, while I, Jekyll, was consumed by guilt and despair. I had unleashed a new monster upon the world, and there was no turning back. As the elite of London succumbed to our influence, they unwittingly began to further our dark agenda. They used their power and influence to corrupt the city's institutions, turning London into a cesspool of vice and malevolence. It was a nightmarish transformation, and I was powerless to stop it. My dual existence became a living hell. I watched in horror as Hyde's insidious plan unfolded, and I realized that the line between us had blurred beyond recognition. I had created another evil, and now I was complicit in its reign of darkness. This is my confession, my plea for redemption. I must find a way to reverse the effects of our duality toxin, to free the souls of the elite who have become our mindless minions. But time is running out, and the darkness that Hyde and I have unleashed upon London threatens to consume us all. Hyde knew this would happen, and he is reveling in it, I am sure. I can't hold him back. It seems he has a life of his own now.
saw the sweet taste of success and the fresh nightly air. In the twisted corridors of my own consciousness, I finally find myself in control. The persona once known as Dr. Jekyll is a distant thought, a feeble whisper in the shadows. I am Mr. Hyde, the puppet master of this wretched existence. London, a city gripped by the tendrils of my malevolence. Wealth and power were the initial cravings, but now they are a mundane pursuit. Madness courses through my veins, a relentless hunger for bloodshed that no earthly pleasure can satiate. The elite of London, the high and mighty, once believed themselves untouchable. How wrong they were. I, Mr. Hyde, have become the harvester of their souls, the reaper in the shadows. That is the true wealth. The halls of opulence are now painted with the grotesque tapestry of their demise. I roam the cobblestone streets with a grin that sends shivers down the spines of those unfortunate enough to catch a glimpse. Fear is my ally, and the city trembles beneath my dark reign. The moon bears witness to the horrors I unleash upon the unsuspecting, and its pale light reflects off the blood-stained streets. Asylums overflow with the shattered minds of those who have glimpsed the abyss within me. The police are helpless, their investigations leading only to despair. I am the chaos, the nightmare that stalks the dreams of the once proud denizens of this accursed city. The crescendo of suffering reaches its zenith, a symphony of agony that drowns out the feeble protests of a dying society. But my thirst for despair knows no bounds. The grand finale awaits, a climax of horror that will etch my name in eternal infamy. I gather the remnants of my victims, the elite of London, and assemble them in a chamber of shadows. Bound and broken, their eyes mirror the terror that resides in their hearts. I, Mr. Hyde, stand before them, a ghastly silhouette against the dim candlelight. The air thickens with anticipation as I revel in the fear that permeates the room. Then, with a sadistic delight, I unleash a torrent of madness upon them. The screams harmonize into a hellish choir, a cacophony of torment that reaches the darkest corners of the city. Their bodies contort and convulse, twisted marionettes in my demented performance. Blood paints the walls, an abstract masterpiece born of agony. And as the last echoes of their suffering fade into the abyss, I stand alone, amid the macabre tapestry of my creation. The once proud London lies in ruins, a graveyard of souls consumed by the insatiable hunger of Mr. Hyde. I, the harbinger of chaos, remain the sole monarch in this kingdom of despair, a madman reigning over a city lost to the abyss. They never gave my other self a chance to show his discovery to society, a scientific breakthrough, if I would say so myself. And I do. So now they shall be unwilling participants in its rise to overthrow their perfect little lives. Goodbye, Dr. Jekyll. Hello, immortality.